you need to use your ticket.
Good evening, guys. Welcome to Off the Post, episode 27. Anthony, no photo, no cam. What's going on, mate?
I am when you sent me the message, I was halfway through a league race. So that's why at the moment.
Oh, well. How are we?
Not doing too bad, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good.
That's good.
We are going to have Chaos in here soon. So I'm just waiting on...
Not looking forward to that because he's a Palace fan.
Yeah, you two are going to have a nice little run in, aren't you? Which will be quite interesting. I'll put my glasses on so I can see. Okay. There we go. All right. Table. Okay. All right. Now we go. So we are live. We're ready to go. All right. Well, first of all, let's have we'll have a little bit of a chat regarding obviously this week's action of the Premier League. It was back on after international, and yeah, what a very, very interesting week we had. All up
at the top, top,
yeah,
and bottom.
We'll go through. We'll go through each result, but we'll go through. Just the whole week in general. How did you find it? Do you have some surprising results and some interesting results at the same time?
It was interesting. Good night. It was a really interesting week, of football. Obviously, we had the start with Arsenal Bournemouth, which is obviously was a decent game to watch. Obviously not for yourself. But my weekend ended with Palace Newcastle because I couldn't catch the rest of the games. But it was interesting. It was a really interesting weekend. What about yourself?
Yeah, it was. It was very interesting. Obviously, first game of the week was West Ham, and then obviously last game was Man United and Leeds as well. So, yeah, a really interesting week of Premier League action. Matchweek 32. We've obviously got it as Matchweek 33 due to obviously our spreadsheet. I don't know if it's a mistake on here or not, but we did have Matchweek 31, which was only one game, which was I think on match 29, I think, was Wolves and Arsenal. So we are catching up. There is only, let me have a look, 6 games left. 7 games, including Man City's game in hand. So season is getting upon us very, very quickly, and it's finishing very, very quickly as well. But yeah, a very interesting week. Some surprising results, which we'll go through. But let's kick it off for the first one. West Ham and Wolves, and what a result for West Ham. They really did thump Wolves at the London Stadium.
This just puts the final nail in Wolves' coffin and possibly puts the nail in the coffin for Tottenham as well at the same time. Because I don't see West Ham now dropping back into the relegation zone. Now, I don't see it because this West Ham team has done so well to claw back, 14? They scored 14 points in the first half of the season or something really shit with that. And to pull out, credit to Nuno, who's there. Credit to him, he did so well to re-galvanize that club because they were a sinking ship.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would agree with that. I think West Ham have done a really, really good job with Nuno. I think Nuno has really pulled that team in. Obviously, you got some good signings in. Obviously, they got this Valentin Castellanos, who got 2 goals within the space of 2 minutes as well, which is pretty good. And obviously, their defender scored 2 as well. So goals coming from the defender and striker. Really interesting after seeing Wolves doing such a great job in the last few weeks, and then all of a sudden now starting to lose results, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, I'm just going to bring in Kaus, as Kaus is just finally jumped in. Mr. Kelsey!
You guys like my name?
Piss
Oh
off,
God, here we
Cass.
go. He's gonna ridicule me. He's ridiculed me. This is why I thought he would be here. He's just waiting for the second game. He's just jumped in just when we're about to finish up with West Ham and Wolves as well. So this is going to be a very interesting one. And I'm sure Cass has got a lot to say, which is coming very, very close to the end of the season as well, and lots going on. We've just been talking about West Ham and Wolves, Cass, and we've just been talking about West Ham, obviously. Their new signing of Valentin Castellanos scored the 2 goals within 2 minutes, and their defenders scored he scored obviously the 2 goals as well. But and he was just talking about how much of a job Nuno's done in the last few weeks.
Yeah, Castellanos is a fantastic sign. I'm pretty sure he was in the Liga, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, a lot of talents from Liga do find a lot of success in the Premier League, just due to the physical nature of Liga being quite similar to the Premier League. So that transition is usually quite straightforward. 4 goals against Wolves, though, like especially if you're Wolves, like it's kind of a bit of a punch in the gut in terms of your pride, right? Because you're still in the Premier League, you still want to show a good showing for yourself, and to go down 4-0 against a team that might be going down with you is not a great sign. Obviously, that's something that we can touch on a little bit later on in detail. But, still a great performance from West Ham. They needed this result to stay out of the drop zone, and I think they're now 3 points clear of that drop zone with other results going their way as well.
2. 2 points.
Beautiful.
2 points clear at the moment. All right, let's go over to our second game of the week, which was the early kickoff between the league leaders and Bournemouth, who have not won a game in 6 or maybe 7, I think it was, and have drawn quite a few games. Cass, I'm going to fire this straight to you, mate. Over to you, mate.
Yeah, I think I remember there was a off the post episode that we did, SJ. It was you and I, and we had a really, really heart-to-heart conversation about the title race. And I remember bringing up this fixture specifically. Yeah. And I remember you said word for word, Bournemouth won't do anything against us. Who have they got? Semenyo's gone.
Fucking wrong, aren't I?
Who have they got? Semenyo's gone, SJ.
Yeah, I know.
He's in blue.
You got fucking Karubi, that's why.
He's a good player, though. He's quality, and there's rumors that he's going to go to United, and I think that would be a phenomenal signing. But let's not talk about that for now.
Come on, hurry up, then.
There's really not much to say. I've seen this coming from a mile away. I saw this coming 2 months ago. Bournemouth are a hard team to play against. They are dogs off the ball. They run and they press, and I've always kind of felt that in those types of really gritty games, when you got the opposition running at you, Arsenal have this massive buckle in them when they're put under intense pressure like that, right? I think I remember there was a game, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I want to say it was Brighton. I forget what team it was, but I just remember seeing this massive, massive capitulation from Gabriel trying to clear this ball away, doesn't get rid of it, and then like the entire defense is just in shambles and they concede in the last minute. I forget what game it was, but I just remember seeing that picture, and I remember having that picture in my head when we had this discussion, SJ, about this game specifically, and I said, Bournemouth are not an easy team to play against. They are very, very hard to play against. They are tough. They are very well disciplined. They have a lot of energy in the players that they have. They run off the ball. They fight for every second ball as well. It was always going to be a tough game. And I was also very, very disappointed with Bournemouth's performance leading up to this game, right? Because I do think they are a very, very good quality side. And Iraola is a phenomenal manager, which could be managing you guys next season, Anthony. I think the rumors are. So yep. I think that, to have a manager of that capacity to be managing your team, I think they should have had more results leading up to this fixture. But I said this as well, SJ, that Arsenal have a target on their back. Yeah, like it's very different being the hunters up against the hunted. The mindset is different. The application and the way that you prepare for games and your mindset within that game is going to be different fundamentally. It doesn't matter who you are. So I think this is another proof of the cracks showing for Arsenal. fuck, man, they're gonna need a massive performance when they get to the Etihad in a few days' time. That is going to be hands down the biggest game in all of world football this season. Where's your camera, Anthony? I want to talk to you face to face when we get to another conversation.
He's being unsociable. We'll go to Anthony and then I'll get you guys to ask, because I'm sure I've got gonna have some questions asked to me, because there's a lot that's been happening in the last few weeks as well. So
yeah,
Anthony, have you got anything to say regarding the Bournemouth game, the Arsenal game?
When you have Liam Scott, who's a Tottenham born and bred, to score a winner, that must have stung in a way.
No, not really. It was a great goal. Great little touch from Van Elsen, I think his name is.
I think it's Van Elsen.
Yeah, great little dink just off the outside of the foot. Great play, and just obviously opened up the whole defence, and he had a goal to score, and you put it in the net. Great goal. I can't. First goal, shit, exactly the same as the goal they scored against us last season. Same sort of goal, just scrappy, just crap, just shocking defending. So, but second goal, deserved to win. I'm not going to say too much, but when I asked the questions, but they were the better team.
They wanted it more than what you guys did. I saw a lack of energy as well from Arsenal.
I don't personally, my opinion. I know I haven't had any questions here. I don't think it's that. I think it's something else, which I'll pin when you ask me. I'll probably give you the answer. I think it's fair. I really do. I think it's fucking fair. They know that they have got it in their hands, right, and it's slowly withering. Right, and the only thing that at the moment that we're doing, and this is the problem, right? I'm not going to go too much detail. We're relying on other fucking clubs to do the job, right? After we lost the game against Bournemouth, we all got our blue scarves on cheering Chelsea. And what did they do? Fuck all. No offence, And really, on paper, I was listening to a guy who I know on Arsenal Fan TV, and he nailed it on the head. He said, "You're 9 points clear. Go for it. What have you got to lose? Show them what you've got. We're sitting back. They dominated us from start to finish. The first 20 minutes, we had a go. Don't get me wrong. After that, we couldn't get out of their fucking half. We could. They could not. We could not get them out of our half in the second half. And then they scored the goal. And then Gyökeres could have probably scored. Should have scored. Should have hit it with his left foot, and he didn't.
Yeah,
and he dragged it wide, and and that was probably I think it was the last kick of the game. It's too fucking late, we capitalise, we get 2-2, we go into a draw, we go 10 points until City play, But it's been the last 3 weeks. It's the build up, it's the building up, and then you've also got the Champions League. We've lost 3 games, I think, on the bounce. We lost Southampton in the cup, Carabao to City, and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
And then you had that ball draw against Sporting.
Yeah, but we're
that
through.
was after, yeah.
We're through.
Yeah.
The thing is you look at this, right? We went 1-0 up, right? Away at their ground, which is a great result, right? We didn't need to go gung-ho. We got City at the fucking weekend. We go gung-ho and we get players injured. We're fucked. We didn't need to. We just needed to control and manage the game, and I think we did. And we went through.
But I kind of feel like this mentality of game management, it's so funny. I have a good friend of mine that is an Arsenal fan, and I talk with him pretty often. And, it's funny because he always talks about, cuz we need to manage the game, this, that, right. He's Turkish. He has a very specific way of talking, and he's a good friend of mine. But he just and I said to him, I remember, I forget what game we're watching. It was a few months ago now, but I'm just like, at what point do you say that game management isn't enough? You need to actually go and attack the opposition consistently, put them under the pressure, be a title champion winning team, and actually take it to teams. It kind of just feels like the blueprint for this Arsenal team and their success has just been dropping back in certain situations where you're feeling the pressure and you try to just absorb that pressure and you try to find an opportunity, whether that be a free kick, a corner, or trying to maybe get an X factor player like Eze on the ball. I think Eze has been, even with the limited game time that he's shown, I think you can agree with this, SJ. He's been phenomenal. He's been a fantastic player, and he has actually been probably one of the only players that have been trying to make the difference in the attacking sense of the game. I don't think Saka has been able to reach those heights that he's shown previously in his younger years. I do think Saka is one of those players where very early on he's had a lot of minutes in his career, and therefore I think he is going to have a shorter end to his career than most other professional players just because of how much he has played in his earlier years. I think that'll be an issue that he will run into. Besides the fact he's still within his capabilities and capacity to make differences in games, and he's not doing it. He's not doing it. Nowhere near as much as, say, a Wayne Rooney did for Manchester United, a Sergio Aguero for Man City, a Kevin De Bruyne for Man City, Erling Haaland for Man City when they were winning titles. There's no, even, dare I say it, Ilkay Gundogan was making more difference in that Man City team than Saka is doing in this Arsenal team. There's no game difference.
Yeah, I agree. I listened to Declan Rice's little speech after the Sporting Lisbon game, and he said it. He said, "You're going up against teams which are playing five at the back, and then you've got to try and break them down, and that's one of the hardest things. And you're playing against these teams that are playing a low block. They put 11 players or 12 players, 11 players behind the ball." And you've got to try and find some creativity to break them down. Now, you watch the Sporting game, Gyökeres had no service. He had nothing. And you look at it, you go, right, well, where is the attacking threat? Where is the creativity in the midfield? There isn't any. Eze came on, didn't really do much. He played, he didn't really do much. Zubimendi's been fucking awful the last 3 weeks. He's just been shocking. Declan Rice, I don't know how the guy's not run out of steam. The guy is just literally playing minutes and minutes and minutes, and you can see it in his face of how the results have gone. He knows that it's withering, and we're just like, we've got that gap still, but it's starting to disappear, and it only happens when Man City have their game in hand. That's it. We could be 3 points going to the game in hand. It could be down to 0. And then we're going to have to hope that fucking one of these teams, and then it's big pressure on both clubs, not just us, but also City, because City haven't been brilliant this season. They've been pretty good in the last 8 weeks. They've changed their formation. Bernardo Silva's now playing in the middle instead of left back, and that seems to work. They've had 11 days to fucking relax. They've had no Champions League football, And I do agree with what Declan Rice said. The teams we're playing, it's not 4 now, it's now 5. So it's playing a bloody 5, what was it, instead of 5-4, when it's 5-5 bloody 1 or some whatever. So they're putting more players behind the ball, and we have to break them down. And we've been very, very good on set pieces this season. We've had doubt, don't get me wrong, but you've got to find other ways. Like I watched the Sporting game, I watched the Bournemouth game. We didn't do anything from the corners. We've done nothing. We've been brilliant in them. Trossard hit the post, right? But that's a bit. But we're not doing anything else. I've not seen any goals that we scored from open play. The goal we scored against Bournemouth was a fucking penalty.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, I do think, I forget his name off the top of my head, but I remember there was some moments in the game where you guys had some corners and Petrovic he was fearless. He was just running out to those balls and just
he was catching everything.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. He actually played a really good game. I think that made the difference in that game. And I think that quality of keeper, maybe not quality, but I guess that sort of, what's the word, tenacity in a keeper hasn't really been seen against Arsenal's corners. And you can see he just had so much dedication in getting to that ball. He wasn't really putting himself in positions to get fouled, to draw a pen away potentially from trying to fly out. He was just committing and just doing it really well. So I think props have to be given. I think Petrovic is his name. I think it just came to me.
I think it's Petrovic.
Yeah, Petrovic. Yeah, had a phenomenal performance against you guys. Definitely. I was also just going to say as well, I think just to close this up, I have to ask the question, SJ. I have to ask. If this season is not successful as a title contention, as in you guys finish second again, Does Mikel Arteta get moved on?
If we win nothing,
Has to.
yeah.
I said this early on in the season, and I'll repeat it now. And I know I'm not trying to kick you down. I want to reaffirm that I just do not think Mikel Arteta is a quality manager that can get success consistently.
I think he can.
Then why can't he do it with this Arsenal team? It's so good. It's the best squad in Europe.
What makes me? Yeah, I know. And we've beaten the team that's just gone through into the same.
If you can't do it with the best squad in Europe, who can you do it with?
The thing what annoys me is, right, Cass, you're in a situation, I'm not going to go too much because I need to move on. Obviously, we'll talk about Arsenal and the big show, the biggest game of probably like
European football this entire season. Yeah,
which
100%.
slates in my name. The thing that frustrates me, right, we call bottles, we call this, we call that, right? And I said earlier on in the Bournemouth game is it frustrates me. We're 9 points clear. What the fuck have we got to lose if we don't just fucking attack? I don't get it. I don't understand it. For me, from my coaching side, I hate losing games, right? And I didn't lose many games as a coach, right? I had a very, very good mentality. I wanted the guys to play the ball around and go on the counter. What I don't understand is they're 9 points clear, right? They know, a lot of people have said, a lot of pundits, Righty, King, they said it was going to come down to this Man City game, and it's spot on. They've got it spot on, right? But we've done it. We've done it. We've done it against Southampton. Should not have fucking lost against Southampton in the FA Cup. Should not have lost, right? But we did, okay? Carabao Cup. To be honest with you, I watched that game. There weren't really much between the two teams. It was just a big fucking keeper error. Really. That's how I look at it. If the keeper doesn't make the mistake, I think it's 0-0. I think it goes to extra time. Personally.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It's a fair assessment, yeah.
Because Trafford played well.
Yeah.
Trafford played shit.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, why didn't you play Raya? Well, they go for this whole Carabao and this whole thing that they play the reserve keeper. But besides the point, you're in the dressing room, you're 9 points clear. 6 games to go. Champions League, quarterfinals. Top of the league. Best team in Europe, right? Why can we not get over the line in these mediocre games? Wolves, Bournemouth, Liverpool. You know, these are the games I look at this season. Liverpool had 5 fucking players out. 5. They had no attack and they drew 0-0. And why? Because they put 5 fucking midfielders across. So we had nowhere to break them down. Gyökeres, he's probably going to bag 20 goals. He's going to bag 20 goals this season in all comps. Great start. But where the fuck is the rest coming from? Odegaard has been inconsistent all the way through the season with injuries. Saka hasn't been up to it. Martinelli runs around in a fucking rabbit in the headlights. Trossard is just not creative enough. Havertz has been shit the last 3 games. He's been poor, So it's like Ben White just looks like he needs to go. He's just been injured. He's just not good enough. Timber, we've lost Timber from right back for a period of time. Our defense keeps fucking changing. It's like we've relied so heavily on Raya. He can only bail us out for a few games. He can't do it every week. You're going into a dressing room. You're 9 points. Why didn't you just go for it? I don't understand. What? If I was me, I'd just say be fearless. You're 9 points clear. If you lose 3-0, oh well. But at least you've had a go. We fucked around in that Bournemouth game. There's a team that have drawn 6 games on a trot. 6. They're playing a team that have drawn 1 and won all 5. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. And I can see the frustration on Declan Rice's face. I can see it. I saw it against Sporting. I saw it against Southampton. I saw it against Wolves. I've seen it so many times this season because he's doing so much he can, but you can't rely on that one player. I'm just going to go away from it. You look at the game between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I had no fucking idea he was going through. I thought Real Madrid were going to go through. But they got a silly red card, right? But they were quality. But they were just... It was such a good game. It was back and forth, but Bayern were clinical and they knocked them out, And Real Madrid, that's twice they've been knocked out in the quarters. Last season by us, this season by Bayern Munich. Same sort. They got nothing to lose. They had nothing to lose, Real Madrid, and they went for it. Same scenario. Premier League, Champions League. You're playing over 2 leagues. These games in the Premier League, they're cup finals. Every single one's a cup final.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm frustrated because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, is it going to happen again? Is it going to happen again? Are we going to get? Because let's be honest, we can beat Man City. We've done it before, but can we go to their ground and beat them?
Yeah, that's the kicker.
I don't think we can.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a draw.
Yeah,
personally, I think it'll be a draw. I think I'll have a different team.
I think Man City might do it. The reason I say that is because I said this before, and I'm going to repeat myself, but I think it's such a key aspect mentally, where it's such a different headspace when you're chasing, when you're going for it, and I think there's also that backdrop for the Man City players, and I guess especially even some of the new guys that have come in, Semenyo and Gahey and all the rest, and even some of the transfers from last season like Omar Mamouche and even James Trafford if he ends up playing some games or whatever. I just think that the mentality of those players is going to be, we've never been in this situation, but look who has. Pep Guardiola. We can look to him. He's done it so many times. And I think having that figure in your dugout that has been successful probably will go down as the greatest manager potentially of all time, right? Just based on his success, his accolades, and just the amount of leagues he's done it in. I think that man, Pep Guardiola, I think if you've got him in your dugout and you're chasing for a title, I think it's different gravy. Even if you're someone who's on the bench and you think that you should be a starter, even if you completely do not like the guy, I think there's still an element in your mind, even when you're sitting on that bench with Pep Guardiola in front of you, like, all right, this guy's done it. Like, I can't be too mad. There must be a reason why, right? And I think that's something that they can fall back on, is to have someone of that stature involved. I think it speaks volumes, and I think that'll make the difference, in my opinion. I think he will do everything he can. As much as he says in interviews, his team's very young, there's not a lot of pressure on them. I don't expect anything, this, that. And when he's in that dugout at halftime, he's going to be letting them know.
I do agree. I think the only downside, it's not the same team last season. I think that's the only thing that could slip them up.
I think it's a better team from last season. I think it's an improved team in terms of not just the signings, but the growth of the players within that squad. Nico O'Reilly has been phenomenal this season. Yeah. He has come. This has been his coming together season. I don't know what the saying is.
Coming of age.
Sure, yes, that one. But you get what I'm trying to say. This has been his renaissance. Hello, how's it going? This is me. He's been phenomenal this season in that floating left back position. I also think even Bernardo Silva has put in some phenomenal performances, doing some doggies. I think that guy will be missed at that club. And yeah,
there'll be another Gundogan.
Yeah, and I think I think Ryan Cherky has been someone who's been awesome to watch. As much as there's been critics about his performance, about his antics, I love that stuff. I'll be honest. I'm a massive fan.
To be honest with you, I think the way that City have done it, if they do get across the line, I think that they've nailed it. Because at the end of the day, we've not got too much into it, but when a club needs someone, they've got additions, which has worked. They bought Semenyo. They bought Anton Semenyo, right? He's changed the fucking club.
Yeah.
Because Haaland wasn't scoring, and the only person they were relying on was Anton Semenyo.
I do think Haaland is still important to that team, right?
I think so, yeah, 100%. I think ever since, if you're going back from last season, the problem was always going to be, would he get the service when Kevin De Bruyne left the club? That was the problem, because it was and you saw when Kevin De Bruyne wasn't playing, Haaland didn't score. There was not, they didn't have that creativity. They've now got Antoine Semenyo. They had Doku, who absolutely ridiculed Liverpool in the FA Cup. Absolutely smashed him. He was he was fantastic. But he's a one-trick pony. I really don't. I'm not a fan of Doku. I think I've watched him for Belgium. I think he's great with the feet. Final ball, shite. I don't think he's very good with his final ball. I think he could score a lot more goals if he gets in those positions. He does a lot of that weaving. He can turn you inside out very quickly. He's very good at that. Attention direction. I'm repeating myself. Okay. He can change direction very, very quickly. But when they brought Semio, they've got another player that they can rely on that wing, and then they needed that centre back, which they got Mark Guay. And they've just filled the positions that they had to. They did the same last season. They bought Mamouche. They bought who's the 3 players they buy? Mamouche, Cherki, and there's one more. They bought 3 of them. I can't
talking about January last year?
Oh yeah, it might have been Alvarez. I think it was 3 players that they bought. Big players. And that made the massive difference for City. And that's the difference, between the 2 clubs, and we'll talk a little bit about it near the end. But we'll move on because I won't shout about Arsenal.
We can sit here for another hour talking about.
Yeah, we could. Com, Brentford and Everton 2-2.
Oh yeah, Com, you're here. Sorry, mate. How's things? We're just having our own conversation. Sorry, mate.
Entertaining game between 2 clubs going for Europe. So, I have nothing really else to say.
Yeah.
Igor Thiago's a fucking freak, though. That man.
21 goals. One goal less than Haaland.
Is he the new robot?
I think he's a good player and he's a good finisher. He kind of has similar, I would say, qualities to someone like Victor Gyökeres. I think very similar qualities, getting the end of chances, probably can have a better first touch, but it doesn't really need to if he's just hitting the ball first time, putting it in the net, being on the end of chances, tapping it in, always in the right space at the right time. I think it's very similar profile to Gyökeres. I think Igor Thiago is tenfold more effective. And I just think that he has done it in a very, very difficult Brentford system that is very isolating for the attack. And I think some of that has been very important to that shape has been Kevin Schade, who's left wing or right wing, one of the 2. But I think that guy's been phenomenal for them as well. I think Brentford is just a classic tale of phenomenal recruitment, very well coached team. Which again, I will bite my tongue and say that I was incorrect about Keith Andrews. I think I sat here with multiple other fellas being like, these guys are probably going to be bottom of the table, but they've done phenomenal this season. I'll say it time and time again. This has really been a phenomenal season for them. And I kind of hope that they continue on next season, that they get decimated like usually other teams do when it gets to the summer window. Because I think if they're going to hold on to some really good players like Igor Thiago, like Kevin Schade, even Kelleher, as much as he hasn't had the spotlight as he did at Liverpool, he still performed very well. He hasn't made any egregious mistakes. There's been some question marks for sure, but I think he's still
the experience though.
Yeah, and he's still a quality keeper. So I think holding on to some talented players is definitely the key for Brentford, and hopefully they can build next season and go again and have another crack at getting European football 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Do you reckon Keith Andrews is coach of the year?
No, I don't think he's coach of the year. I think he's done a phenomenal job. Don't get me wrong. He's not coach of the year. I can think of 5 guys that'd be ahead of him. Not the food chain.
Ooh, okay.
Easily 5 people that are ahead of him. Done a phenomenal job. Don't get me wrong. But
he was an inexperienced coach who took over a club who lost 4 pillars to their Premier League side. So he's my coach of the year. He was a free kick coach, for God's sake, at Brentford. So, in my opinion, he's coach of the year, I reckon.
Fair enough. He's got a good squad. He's got reliable players.
An experienced head like Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, he's got Jordan Henderson in the team. Kevin Schade scored some very, very good goals. They've signed Thiago, who's now just got a Brazil call-up as well. Congratulations to him; he's well deserved. They've got a real good team. They've got that what was it, Cambodi, right back.
Coyote.
Coyote, I think it
His
is.
throws are ridiculous. They found a new talking about set pieces. We get called about bloody corners. Well, look at Brentford's golden
Brentford
ticket.
and Stoke
Their
can hold
throw-ins,
hands.
their throw-ins are ridiculous. Like they've
Rory
scored a lot of
Delap.
goals from them.
Rory
You know?
Delap, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's a throwback.
I've got to say though, I'm going to move away from Brentford. I'm going to move over to how good is Pickford? How does he keep that shot out? Like the guy is like, I know he's number one for England, but Everton have kept him for so long. I just don't understand how he's still there. He just bails Everton out every time. And then, did you see the save?
Yeah,
He did it 2 weeks in a row because he did it. What was it last week? Was it against? Who was it? Who did Everton
It was
play
against
last week?
us.
Yeah.
He pulled off that ridiculous head off the
The free
crossbar.
kick. Yeah, he's done it. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. I rate him very highly. And I can see why he's England number one.
Yeah,
I hate this. I hate to say this as a Newcastle fan to a Sunderland fucking Mackham. I'll have him in the sticks ahead of Ramsdale and Pope.
It's not a very high ceiling, if I'm being honest.
It's not that fucking high. You got a guy that's really
Ramsdale, Pickford.
like.
Are you questioning whether or not Ramsdale should be ahead of Pickford, SJ?
Two different goalkeepers. I love Pickford's left foot though.
Pickford is a way better keeper than Ramsdale.
It's his
Come
left
on.
foot.
Ramsdale got relegated at fucking Chesterfield.
Yeah, that's a pack it up. Come on.
All right,
Let's move on.
we'll continue. All right, moving on. Burnley and Brighton. Probably not
Who
much to
cares?
talk about. Brighton, 2-0 away win. Good for them. Moved themselves up to 46 points. Klaus, point behind Everton and Brentford, and 2 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah, good result for Roberto De Zerbi's old club that he was managing in the Premier League. Now he's moved on to I don't know if it's greener pastures, definitely different pastures. Yeah, good result for Brighton. I think this will be very important for Fabian Hürzeler because there's been a lot of pressure around him as to whether or not he will continue on as the Brighton manager. I do think that he has had a really rough time of it over the last 3 months at the turn of the new year, but I think he will need to keep some results quite consistent until the end of the season. I think he should be fine with keeping his job in that dugout.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with Brighton.
And just
only lost
Burnley
one
not
game in the
learning
last-
from the same mistakes. Just
They've only
Burnley.
lost one game. They've only lost one game in their last 5. So they've won 4 games, lost 1. And they've won 3 on the bounce. So they're in good form. Brighton.
They're a decent team.
They are a good team. I believe they're our bogey side.
In the
I
words of former Italian coach Gaetano Gattuso, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. That's what Brighton are.
I don't know. I think Danny Welbeck has been absolutely fantastic for them all season. In a player that's come from 2 massive clubs, Man United, then Arsenal, and then obviously he's gone to Brighton, and he didn't really do much at Arsenal. He obviously was well known at Man United. He scored some vital goals. I don't think he did. I don't think Danny Welbeck did.
He had a pretty good start when he first transferred to Arsenal. I think he was
in pre-season
Yeah, he
he was
scored
good,
that
yeah,
winner
but I don't
against
think he did
Leicester,
much
I
after
remember.
that. I don't think he did much after that. Man United was where he shot because he was young. That's when him and Wilfried Zaha were playing together.
Yeah.
Zaha
Zaha.
United, Jesus.
But then they got Sebastian Grob back, didn't they? They loan him, bring him back, loan him, bring him back, and they bring him back, and he just fits straight in, And they've got some very, very good. Is it Van der Heek, one of their centre backs? He is ginormous. Good team. I like Brighton, even though I don't like seagulls. All right, let's move on. I was very surprised about this. We actually started to watch this game. I'm actually really surprised Liverpool won this game because I honestly thought Fulham were very good, but they just weren't clinical, Caps.
Yeah, I agree. I think Liverpool probably, I think it's fair to say they were the better team at the end of it. I think very good goal from Ngoma, phenomenal goal.
Oh.
Sent his man. What a player! I think he's just he will be.
I like this kid. This kid's gonna be a superstar.
They need to hold on to him. Like, there's no two ways about that. If they let him go due to financial issues that they potentially could be facing next season, mate, I think that would be a massive miss. And I think if you're a Liverpool fan and like you let go of Ngoma and potentially even Curtis Jones in the same window, I would be rioting. I would be rioting. No. Well, there's potential rumors, right? Because
Curtis
at the end of the day,
is shite.
But hold on a minute. He's also homegrown. He's a player that is probably the only Scouser left in this lineup, right? If you lose probably your best, youngest talent in your lineup and a player that is from the area that you are, there's something about just being a Scouser and you're playing for Liverpool, right? There is, right? If you get rid of both those players in the same window, there might be some issues.
I think it'll stay with
you have to rebuild an aging fucking team.
Oh yeah, they got problems. They got problems. But I did watch Rio in PSG, and he was class.
Fulham were fucking dreadful. I watched this game. Fulham.
Did you?
I watched this game.
I'm not sure if you watched this game. I'll be honest, because
we were asleep.
Fulham were quite good, but they just buckled.
They just weren't clinical.
Yeah,
their shots were over there and over there.
I still say this. And I've said this a million times on this freaking podcast. If you cannot finish your fucking chances, you're not winning games. And Fulham haven't been doing that.
Well, they're 2 points ahead of you, bro.
That's uncalled for, okay?
Sorry.
Fucking uncalled. Mate, we have a player that...
We're lucky this is not an F1
who doesn't want to fucking
God
be
knows
there.
I'm not happy with him. Ooh. But we won't talk about that. That's why he's kept away.
We're leaking beef.
I'm not going to mention it. This is not an F1 podcast. Com knows, though. He knows deep down. No, I think they've been good. I think Marco Silva's done a great job. I think they're 12th in the league. They're a point behind Bournemouth. They're 2 points behind Sunderland and Brighton, and 3 points behind Brentford and Everton, and 4 behind Chelsea. And, they've got a real good opportunity. If any of those teams drop points or draw, they've got a massive opportunity to skyrocket up to 9th. I know there's only 2 points between them, Crystal Palace and Newcastle, but Harry Wilson's been fantastic this season. He's been Fulham's best player, without a doubt. I think they've signed some fantastic players. They've spent a serious amount of money. They got Kennedy or Kenny or someone, a left winger from Shakhtar Donetsk, like 40 million.
They got
Raul Jimenez is just getting too old. Smith Rowe hasn't really done too much. I think Alex Iwobi's been very, very good this season. I think Kevin Bassey or Carl is it Carl Bassey or Kevin Bassey? He's a solid defender. I think they've got some really good players. I think they're just lucky. We watched this game for a bit, and they were just unlucky. They just couldn't finish. They just didn't know what they would do. They had opportunities in the 15-yard, 10-yard. They just couldn't put the ball in the net, and end of the day, that's what it is. And to be honest with you, Liverpool won't. I don't think Liverpool played well. I just think they were just clinical. They just more finished. Yeah. Rio, that inside boom. That it's a perfect goal. You go on the inside and then you cut it round, and that's what he's good at. He's good at his feet. Harry Wilson. Can you remember that time when Harry Wilson was coming down the side? He turned Konate inside out, but then he squared it and he didn't shoot. And I was like, "What are you doing? Hit it with your right."
Yeah.
So I thought they weren't clinical. If you thought they were shit, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with you, SJ. I think they missed that final sort of maybe extra pass, maybe just a little bit of conviction in their play. I agree that I think Marco Silva will be a man in demand.
He won't stay for them. He'll be gone by the end of the season.
Yeah, he'll be someone that people will be looking at to manage their clubs going into the summer.
Why not Liverpool?
Well, that'll be Xabi Alonso, but that's all right.
Former Everton coach going to Liverpool. Interesting.
Nah, David Moyes. David Moyes is going to stay at Everton. He won't leave Everton. Right. Who's going first? You're going next.
You can go first, Anthony. I'll let you go.
Who got this right, by the way? Hang on. Let me have a look. Who got this right? Let me see if you know your club. What was it? Hang on. I got it wrong. You got the result right, but the score wrong.
Who, me?
Connor got it right. Well done, Connor. Anthony, you got it wrong.
I think I got the score, but the other way around. I think I've predicted 2-1 Newcastle.
No, you said 3-1.
It's pretty.
Anyway, well done, Connor. Even though you're fucking MIA. And by the way, Connor, the best to the last, mate. I'm gonna fucking rinse you when we get to the end. All I'm gonna say is one word: Leeds.
Correct.
That's what I'm gonna say, mate. Right. Anyway, continue.
I'll say one thing to say. I've only got one thing to say here, and then you can take the floor, Anthony. Jean-Philippe Mateta.
He's back.
He's back, baby.
The Danny Longlegs is back.
He's back. My God.
He is fucking ginormous, that guy. Anyway, continue.
Oh, where do you want me to start with this fucking shit
How long
show?
have we got? It's 1 o'clock here, so continue. We did Arsenal for about 30 minutes.
Yeah. You can take 5.
I'll take 5.
Kelsey's eyes haven't disappeared, so he's not tired, so continue.
I can go for 5 fucking hours about how much of this club fucking pisses me off.
We don't want to hear Eddie Howe needs to be sacked because that is every fucking podcast.
We've already had a discussion about that.
We analysed the game from not the start to finish.
Look at this guy.
The only positive I can get from that football club right now is William Osula. Like, that guy we need to keep because he's a fucking good player when he gets service. It just doesn't help where the service is fucking shit. Gordon wants to go. Fuck off. See you later. We don't want you.
See you, Arsenal.
We don't. Yeah, he can fuck off the buy. He can fuck off
my hair.
He can fucking fuck off the Bayern Munich for whatever I care.
Can you buy me a bandana for Christmas?
But
carry on, Con. Sorry.
There's been reports that at the end of the season they're gonna meet up with Howe, but I feel like that's gonna go. He's gonna go. It's been reported already. It's already been reported.
It's gonna be reports that half your fucking club are gonna leave.
What
Tonali,
else?
Gordon,
I'm happy.
Guimaraes, Ramsdale,
fucking
Martial.
That's 6. Sorry.
Out of all people to give away the pen, Botman was the last bloke that I would have expected. But fucking, we just looked so shit after half time. And there was a stat. We conceded 25 points from winning positions. We would be second in the league if we'd kept them. 25 points from winning positions this season.
Yeah, if I ate 18 cheeseburgers, I would be double the weight that I am right now. You know what I mean? Like, what sort of stat is that, bro? Like, what am I hearing?
That's true. It's a fucking true stat.
Oh, what am I hearing?
The stat is that Botman couldn't fucking see because he had that thing on top of his fucking head.
Anthony, if you won every game of the season, you would win the league at the end of the season.
As Max Verstappen said, if my mum had balls, it'd be my dad.
as Gio said on that one cooking show, if my grandmother had wheels, she wouldn't have been a bike. You know what I mean?
Exactly. First half, we came out with energy. We came out, we played well. We took care of a flat Palace, who obviously had that great win of Fiorentina. But second half, I don't know what he says in the second half, but fucking we came out with no energy. We looked slacked. We looked flat. We just couldn't.
How do you not get a fucking result with that team? Gordon, Murphy, Tonali, Yolinton, Miley, Hall, and Livramento. You got Livramento back. Like,
I think that is your best 11 too, Anthony. I'm not gonna lie.
What the fuck is going on with Nick Weltamati?
Besides, obviously, Guimaraes not being there.
Right. You look at your bench, right? Visser, clinical. Barnes, clinical. Langer, fast. Nick Voltamani, height. Kieran Tripper, dead ball. Dan Burn, solid. You've got some fucking good players. I just, my personal thing is, I don't think Eddie Howe has used that squad. I really don't. I think he's got so many different players in so many different areas that are so similar. You look at Gordon, you look at Alanga, they're both fast. They're both quick players, right? Very, very similar. Harvey Barnes, same again. You got 3 players exactly the same. Joe Willock, same again. Quick, good with the ball. Joe Willock's final ball's pretty shit. You've got so many, but Gordon can score goals. You know, Walter Made was, I think he was the 3rd best striker in the Prem at the time, like when he joined. I don't know what's happened. Like, do you not trust him? Like, you bought Visser, you had him out for so long, for like nearly 2 months. He was clinical for Brentford. He was so clinical, and he's not even in the fucking starting 11. You're playing. Hang on, let me just double check this. You're playing a young lad who, no offense, scored 1 great goal against Man United, and now he's in the starting lineup of Newcastle.
You
spent 40 million on a striker that's sitting on the bench. Do you not trust your strikers? Like, I don't understand it. I look at Walter Made. Walter Made played against us. You played against Arsenal this year. It's a fucking handful. He caused so many problems for Gabriel.
And he's technical as well. Phenomenal with his feet.
Who?
I don't know.
Walter Made is very, very good with his feet. And phenomenal playing.
I don't get it.
But this is what I mean. It's the same fucking formation every week. It's the same 4-3-3, 4-3-3, 4-3-3. It just gets so fucking repetitive. Try fucking something different. Play a 4-4-2 and play Walter Made and Wissa. Like, I can see.
Play them. You have to play one off the off because you got height. You can't play a 2. You got to play a 1. You got to play very, very similar to how Arsenal played with Walcott and Giroud. You played Giroud in the middle.
It worked when we had Mitrovic and Perez.
We had 2 different players. Perez played off Mitrovic because Mitrovic is that tall player that could hold the ball up. Walter Made is the same. He needs to be able to. If you're going to play someone fast, you need to play off your target man. Like Giroud
could do.
Giroud played in the middle, and then Walcott ran off Giroud. That's how they played.
I think they could do it, SJ. Like,
they can't play 2. No, they can't play.
Yeah, they can. There's 2 strikers. They could.
No.
They could get Walter Made to be essentially like a false 9 or someone that.
But he'd have to play top, and then Visser would have to play behind.
No,
that's the only
way around.
No, what 2-2?
You can't have Walter Made at the end. He's not fast enough. You can get
Walter Made in the middle, so like he'll play the Giroud role, and then obviously Walcott ran off Giroud. So same thing. Walter Made plays the target man, and then obviously he runs off, and then Visser plays the front. You could play like a 1 there, and then Visser there. You can't play the 2 side by side.
Yeah,
that's what that would do.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, why can you not trust to your 2 strikers? You paid 105 million combined, but you still sold your best striker at the club that we've had since Alan Shearer and Alexander Isak. Don't forget, he was clinical at Newcastle United. And then he did shit at Liverpool. God forbid his injuries. He's been injured. Fair enough. But you brought in players that Walter Made, like, fucking Walter Made came out of the German 3rd tier like 3 years ago. You got Wissa, who did well at Brentford, but
criminally proven.
And then you got, who's the other bloke that we had? William Osula from the Frankfurt 2nd division, or whatever the fuck we got him from. And he's up as striker. Where do we go wrong?
I think it's your formation. I don't think he needs. I've watched a few games. You're playing Gordon up front. Gordon's not a fucking striker. He's a winger.
If I see that bloke play a striker again, I'm going to fucking scream. I don't understand. What do you see in Anthony Gordon that thinks he's a striker?
He's not. It's not.
He's
too small.
not.
It's too small.
That's like Arsenal putting fucking Saka at striker. It doesn't fucking work.
What? Close. They played him in the number 10 role. He just needs to play one more.
Yeah,
he did play left back, so you never know.
It's like Palace. It's like if Palace decided, oh wait,
centre back at Man City.
Let's play Sarr as a striker. He's a winger. Yes, he has blistering pace, but what else?
Salah did play up front, by the way, for Liverpool.
Oh, did he play? Fucking hell.
Back in the day.
But he
was a striker for Roma. Played up front for Roma, and then he also played up front for Chelsea as well.
He did play on the wing for a fair bit as well.
Yeah.
But don't know where we went wrong with this.
We'll move on because I know you're pissed off. We'll move on to
I am
Cows.
pissed off, but
let Cows-
Cows, go ahead.
You got to bounce back. You got to bounce back, and that's what it's about, right? Look, you got Bournemouth. You're at home. You're St James's Park. You're playing a team. Obviously, they're in a bit of confidence, bit of form. So and you're not out of it. You're not of Palace. You've still got a massive opportunity in getting back. So we'll have to wait and see.
Welcome back, SJ.
Yeah, I know what happened there. I'm in the middle. Let's go.
Oh, there you are.
I'm on bloody. I can hear myself talking.
Yeah. Anthony's thing.
Anthony, that's it. Are you hear me talking in the background? It's I don't hear my voice. Anyway, Kaus, go over. What about Palace? I'm just going to talk a little bit about him. Mateta's back, mate. How much have you missed him?
Yeah, I said it before. I'll say it again. Jean-Philippe.
You won this morning as well.
Yeah.
Easy.
Big game. I'll be honest. The result at Selhurst Park was huge for us against Fiorentina. So, yeah, I'm glad we got the job done. It was always going to be tough going to their ground, right? Obviously, of course, this squad has now had a bit of taste of European nights, but going to the Serie A, going over to Italy and that passion that fan base can give can be quite intense to go up against. So
you'll win that tournament.
Yeah, I hope so. I think Shakhtar Donetsk will be a good challenge, but yeah, I think hey, there's no easy wins here. Yeah,
you beat Fiorentina, you'll win that.
Don't count the Chisholm before they hatch.
And Villa will win the Europa.
They should win Europa League. I'll agree with that.
Unless they'll get knocked out by maybe Braga, because Braga look good.
They do.
I think they beat Betis today. Sorry, carry on.
No, I've got nothing else to add. I think, Jean-Philippe Mateta, he's back, maybe. Come on, fire up.
All right, we'll close it there. We'll close it on that. All right. We'll go back to Cass. Good old Tottenham. Good old fucking Tottenham.
There's nothing to discuss here. What do you mean?
Tottenham. You get a new manager and you still fucking lose. Like, seriously. Just enjoy playing Lincoln City.
Enjoy playing Bradford at home.
Yeah, enjoy playing Lincoln City. Have just been promoted into the championship.
Yeah, congratulations to them. Well done.
Yep. Good luck. They're going to be playing. They're going to be going at home in a very, very expensive stadium at Tottenham. Like, they played well though. Don't get me wrong. They did play well. They had chances. They did look a little bit of a different team, but Sunderland yet again. They played good football and got the result.
Sunderland play well at home, and you can see it in the fans. Like, is it great? I hate to say this, but Sunderland in the Premier League just feels right. Like, Sunderland in the Prem feels like a Barclays Premier League side, and it's good to see him back, but I still hate their guts.
Yeah, Brian Brobby was a handful, I'll be honest. I think that guy was being a dog off the ball and causing all sorts of issues for Spurs defenders. I think, it was unfortunate to see Romero go off in the way that he did. He seemed pretty upset, of course.
That could be his World Cup done.
Yeah, not only that, but I think that will hurt Spurs' chance to get out of the relegation zone as well. He's a very big player, very big presence in the team. I did like the player choice, except for one position, and that was right back. So this time and time again, I'll say it again. I just don't rate Pedro Porro. He just reminds me. I think he is very similar to Trent, where very one-dimensional, one-trick pony, has a phenomenal delivery from a very specific part of the pitch that only gets used when you're a fullback. And if he never gets in that position, I just don't think he's effective. And
he can score though. When he gets the opportunity, he's very good in front of goal.
That's not what you want from a fullback. That's nice. Great. You can shoot some goals. Go play in La Liga with fucking Kieran Trippier, man. Like, I don't know. Like, who cares? Your job is to defend your byline. That's your number one priority as a bloody fullback. He doesn't do it.
Well, that was
Every
the
single
problem
time I
with TA.
see, agreed, yeah, 100%. And I never rated Trent Alexander-Arnold either. I don't think he's a good player. I think that there's a reason why he's gone to Real Madrid and failed. Like, he doesn't add any other dimension to his game other than his delivery of passes. Don't get me wrong. Trent has a world-class delivery. I fully am aware of that. But if that's all you can offer from fullback, come on, man.
Well, you're fucked if you're against. I remember Martinelli played against TA a lot of times, and he ran rings around him.
But that's what I mean.
Absolutely.
And you, I think it's fair to say, SJ, that you would even consider Martinelli to not be that great of a footballer at Arsenal.
Last season, yes, not this season. No.
But I just think that there's, like, if you're going to be a fullback, right, like, you need to defend your bot. That's your number one job, man. And I don't think that Pedro Porro should be playing in this system. I do understand why he's been given the first few games. You know, obviously, De Zerbi is aware of, like, everyone's ability and probably seen a lot of success playing against Postecoglou and his system and how Postecoglou had success with Porro. But I just think Jed Spence is just a better fullback, man. He's a lot more of a complete package. He can drive with the ball. He actually can defend his byline. Sure, he's a bit arrogant. Sure, he can be a little bit unlikable. He's just a better player than Pedro Porro, in my opinion. He's a better fullback, sorry. I'll be more specific.
Oh, yeah, he's solid. He'll be more of a defender.
100%. But it's not even more of a defender. He's a more complete player. Pedro
Porro,
I
do agree.
Has had his legs split by fucking Leandro Trossard, man. Like, what is going on? Like, why is that guy even still kicking around in this team? I think he should be gone. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
We look at. I'm going to use a player, for example, that it's an Italian player, Alexander Florenzi, who was able to defend but also attack. Like, that's a player that I feel like many fullbacks have tried to implement into their game but failed miserably. And me watching fullbacks, and I've seen it in many sides, they try to implement this type of Florenzi idea or Marcelo type idea and just fail miserably, and they just get caught out.
But it's changed. It's changed. You look at the right backs from back in the day, Gary Neville, you know, Dennis Irwin, Nigel Winterbourne, you know, big right backs, you know, Ivanovic for Chelsea was very good right back, you know, not the fastest guy, great cross, great delivery, good defender, didn't have the biggest pace, but he was pretty aggressive, pretty solid. Great player, though. I really did rate Ivanovic for Chelsea. I thought he was great. Gary Neville, you know, I don't think Gary Neville was the best. You know, Emmanuel Laburi, Lauren, you know, that played for obviously Arsenal as well, and you obviously a few right backs that played for Liverpool. Who was the right back? Or even a left back. Fabio Aurelio was not a bad player. He had a great left foot. You know, I could try and think of our right backs. You know, Liverpool, I've tried to find that. They've not got a right back. They've got a right wing back. You know, Jeremy Frimpong is fantastic at bombing down the wing, right? Can he defend? No, I don't think so. I don't think Jeremy Frimpong can defend. I think he is great and attackive. They've gone very, very similar to sort of the TA role, but he's got speed. TA had dead ball delivery. You know, his final ball, like the cross he done a couple of weeks again for Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. What a ball. Fizzed it, long, right across the ground, boom, Mbappe. So fast and obviously finished. But from defending point of view, same with Porro as well. Can't defend. Can score. Trust me, 10, 15 yards, the guy's got a great strike from long range, whatever. So we've seen a lot of his goals scored. But then when you need someone to bomb back, say fucking, for instance, Ben Davies. He's shit, but they still continue to play him at left back, you know? Same with Doherty that used to play there. They've never had that player. They've never had that player like Newcastle have got such a good right back in Livramento. I don't think you'll keep him, unfortunately. I think he's off. I think a big club will get him. Crystal Palace have got a great left back in Tyreek Mitchell. Love the player. I think he's a great player. I think your right back is good. Muniz, I think he's fantastic. Real good. Really bombs down the wing and bombs back to defend as well. Solid comes in for solid tackles. you know, and then other teams as well. They've got good right backs, but you need to. If you look at football back in the day, it used to be like running back Ashley Cole. No, it was always one of the best left backs for a long time because he knew how to bomb forward and he knew how to deliver. He knew how to score goals, and he was very, very good at defending as well. Now, it's like you don't have to defend, but you can be good at crossing the ball or a good dead ball situation. Well, when you come a one-on-one with a quick winger like Vinicius Jr., who else? Elise for Munich, you're fucked. Because they're so clinical and technical. Same with Lamar as well. They're so clinical and technical. They'll turn you inside out, you know. And that's why Trossard, I thought, was really, really good against Porro, because he goes left, he goes right, he changes direction. He doesn't have the pace. He just knows where he changes it, drags it back.
And so you can run a straight line against Pedro Porro. He's not tracking you.
No. Oh well. We'll move on. We're going to go over to you, Villa and Forest. What a result this was for Forest. I didn't see this coming. Forest, what's your thoughts to them? They won today again as well, even though Porto did push at them, and they're through as well into the Europa League. So, Con, what's your thoughts to Forest? Because they've turned it around as well. And with a new manager.
Drop points for Villa.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, it's all gone wrong, hasn't it? I think for Villa, they just haven't. They've just fallen off the bandwagon a little bit. If you look at the result, they lost against United, and they lost that big result against Chelsea as well. You know, but the funniest thing is, I know you're saying this, right? They're still in the same amount of points as United, and they have won one game in 5. So you could play shit and still be in the same position, which is really weird. Any take on that, Kaus, Villa?
Yeah, two teams in very different situations. I think obviously United were under the Amorim regime and weren't really successful. So I think, you know, obviously they've had some resurgence with Michael Carrick, whereas at Aston Villa on the other end, they've kind of started off pretty poorly, had a really good resurgence in the middle stage of the season, and starting to kind of tailor off a little bit. I do think for Aston Villa, though, I think their focus is Europa League for potential Champions football for next season. I think they're going to do the Tottenham route and just try to win that competition. This game was a bit of a feature for the Europa League semi-final, so could be interesting to see how both teams go about it, because they will be playing each other 2 other times in the Europa League over the next few weeks or month from now, I think, from when the semi-finals are for Europa League, because they're later than Champions League. But yeah, I think it's unfortunate for Villa. I think
I'll tell you they're playing.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you they're playing.
Nottingham and Aston Villa are playing against each other in the Europa League in the Europa League semi-final.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and then Braga are playing Freiburg because Freiburg knocked out Celta Vigo. Can't believe that. And Braga knocked out Betis. Wow.
Yeah. Good teams. Very, very good teams, quality sides. But yeah, I think bit
of revenge there then, wouldn't it? It'd be a bit of revenge from one of them teams, because Forest are they were in a relegation fight. They've now 3 points clear, and Villa obviously have got a chance to still qualify for Champions League thanks to Arsenal. 5 teams can still qualify. So I think Forest will be up for that more than Villa. But I think on paper, Villa should win that. Morgan Rogers is a fantastic player.
Yeah, I think Villa. I don't think it'll be close. I think Villa should be able to walk all over Forest. I think they're a better team, better manager. Well, more of a well-oiled machine. A lot more known quantities in their side. I think they're just a better quality team in my opinion. They should be able to take that and go to the final and take the final as well, no matter who they play against.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll go into this one, Cass. I thought this might have been a bit of a different result, but Man City wiped the floor with Chelsea, didn't they, really?
Yeah, came out the second half and they looked like a different team. I think Chelsea are in
strife.
They're in such a bad position, and like it's so disappointing to see. I will say it. They are a great club. Chelsea are a phenomenal club. You know, they had European success. They've had Premier League success. They've had domestic cup success. They are a top level quality club that should be competing on all fronts, season in, season out. And to see this team be borderline a shell of what they once were is really disappointing to see as a fan of the Premier League, as a fan of football. I don't particularly like Chelsea fans and you know some of their players that they've signed some in the past, but you know you can't take away from their successes that they've had in the past and what that should mean moving forward and what their club should be viewed as, and that is a club that is capable being competitive in every single competition that they participate in.
So what's wrong with the club? What's wrong?
Yeah, the management, the way that they've run, and the decisions that they've made as a football entity. You know, when you're so worried about balancing the books in a right way, and almost like it's almost like this idea of fear of having more penalties put on their side and all that sort of stuff, and now they have to take on board some of these deductions that they're going to have to face in the coming few seasons. You know, them giving themselves pretty much a transfer ban. And you look at someone like Man City that have no fear in the transfer market. Man City almost operating like the Chelsea of old. They just, whenever there's an issue, we plug it. Whenever there's a problem, we plug it. We do what we can. So I just think the operational aspect of this club is just nowhere it needs to be. And then you bring in the complexity of the politics behind of Enzo Fernandez's comments and what he said when he's on international break about, I would love to go and stay in Madrid, A comment like that, sure, you can suggest it, but you've kind of leaned into it by essentially finding that player and benching him for a few games.
Well, Liam Delap has just come out and said he's leaving.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised about that. I think Liam Delap should be someone that should be having a career in the Premier League, at any club. And I think he's been a little bit hard done by the choices that have been made against, his return after his injury.
Do you think Chelsea needs to go from the ground back up? Because it seems to me the problem is with Chelsea, obviously, they got done, the other week. Mikel was talking about, obviously, my club. And then all of a sudden, didn't really announce what was about 3 hours or 5 hours later. They've just been done for cheating, which is hilarious. When he was talking about Arsenal cheating. Do you feel that Chelsea need to start from scratch? Because they've got such a big fucking squad, 33, 36 players. And they've signed some, I don't know who the fuck they are. Like, they signed some players and they've all fucked off. Like, Diasy's gone to West Ham, I think it is. William Estava, I've not seen him. Cole Palmer's been fucking injured most of the season. Pedro everyone was talking about Pedro. Oh, fantastic. Where the fuck's he been in the last 3-4 weeks? We look at the table, and Chelsea have won one game in the last 4 losses, 3 on the bounce, won their last game, their second game, and Brentford and Everton are a point behind them, and they're in 6th, and they're 48, 49, 50, 51. They're 4 points adrift to P5. So they are out of Europa and Champions League football as it stands. No, just in Europa League, hanging on by their skin and their teeth when they've got 2 teams right behind them on the same amount of points, near enough, just a point difference. What's going on? The next game they've got is United. So it doesn't get any easier. So where do they go?
All I'll say is this: is that I feel very, very I have a lot of, I guess, empathy towards Liam Rosenior. I think that 100%. This job is not easy. This job.
I don't think he's the right man.
I don't think anyone can take control of this football club, SJ. I don't think Jose Mourinho could come back in this football club and change it, even if he had the same aura as he did 10, 15 years ago.
I disagree.
The club is. What do you mean you disagree?
I think different caliber. different caliber of manager.
But the ownership is hamstringing the players. The owner's hamstringing the management.
Yeah, but Todd Bowley's got no fucking idea. It's all about money.
But it doesn't.
That's the difference between him and Roman. Roman had an investment in the club, but he had also he was invested, not as in money, but he was invested. Went to games, like got involved in the play. Todd Bowley's just. If you look at Chelsea Football Club, sorry to interrupt. They've spent £1 billion, not dollars, pounds on defenders. And where the fuck are they? They're out of the Champions League. They may win the FA Cup. Lucky, they may win that. That's an opportunity. They're out of the Carabao.
More than Arsenal.
Well, we're out. And they're 6th. And they haven't won a game. They're in the worst form against 2 clubs behind them. If you're looking in the table, right, you've got Brentford, who have drawn 4 games on a trot. Everton have won 3 games, lost 1, drawn 1. And Brighton are 3 wins in the bats. So the teams there behind them are all on good form. The only other team in front of them is Liverpool, but they're 4 points adrift. So they're looking behind, not in front.
I agree.
I honestly don't think he was the right man for the job. I really don't. I think he's got not enough experience at a high level. And just ever since what they've been doing, like they played us in the Carabao, I think it was. They were shocking. They then did that huddle around the ref, which got fucking, and then they did a huddle again and lost the game. I don't understand what's going on. And they've got some serious quality players. Reece James, quality, but he's been injured so much. Cole Palmer, not the same player as last season. William Estavo, so much potential. Pedro, they rely too much on. Eno Fernandez, I don't rate him. I don't think he's that good. And their keeper is shit, really. Victor Sanchez makes way too many mistakes. He'll have one worldy game, and then he'll fucking pass the ball 5 yards and give the ball away, and they'll score. It's so inconsistent. And look at the back 4. Look at the back day with John Terry, William Gallas, bloody Ivanovic, and then the left back Wayne Bridge, check and goal. And then Cucurella, Levy Colwell. Who the fuck's their right back?
Reece James, if he's not injured, it's probably Gustavo.
No, he plays centre mid, doesn't he? Now they play right back centre mid. And their other bloody centre back is Fofana from Leicester. It doesn't look to me as a scary like a partnership at the back if you're going up against them.
No, I agree, and there's lots of problems with Chelsea. At the end of the day, though, and this is what I was trying to get to, is the fact that the ownership doesn't want to change. The ownership doesn't have ambitions to be a championship fighting and contending team. The ownership doesn't have ambitions to go back into the Champions League and to compete for silverware. And it's such clear messaging when I think there was a time, I think it was when Maresca was let go and released of his duties, and I remember the reading like the specific wording was, they even admitted that Chelsea should be a club that should be fighting on all fronts, and I've seen so many reactions from Chelsea fans that we shouldn't be fighting on all fronts, like we should be like potentially winning on these fronts. We should be always in contention every single season, and it shouldn't be a question. But this ownership doesn't have the same ambitions. That's all it is. And until that ownership changes, Chelsea will forever be in this limbo phase where they're going to be balancing the books for the next 10 to 15 years, and they might become the new Tottenham because Tottenham will be going to the Championship next season and potentially could be going further down the English pyramid of relegation in football.
Do you agree, Com? Do you think the caliber of manager, if you were to get top managers, we'll just name 3. We'll say Jose, we'll say Diego Simeone because we know he's leaving Atletico at the end of the season, and we'll say Allegri. Do you think they changed that Chelsea squad?
That Chelsea team is full of fucking egos. That football club. I'm going to compare Todd Bowley to Steph Kroenke when he was at Arsenal.
Careful.
Yeah,
Careful.
these Americans, owners, or whoever gets into these football clubs don't have a fucking clue about what they're doing. Like, if it was Roman Abramovich, he would have been sacked already. We're seeing now. He would have been sacked already if this was Roman Abramovich. He would have been gone because of how fucking dirty that bloke was when it came to managers. And if I'm Liam Delap, I'm fucking off back to Ipswich.
Well,
Fuck
they could
this.
get promoted, so we get it back up in the same place.
You're not getting game time at a Chelsea team that's in fucking limbo, and your former club is coming straight back up. You could be playing first team football instead of playing, what, third or fourth fiddle at a Chelsea team that's in limbo? Who could be the next?
Liam Rosner won't be the manager next season of Chelsea Football Club.
But it won't be anything that he's done wrong, SJ. That's my point, is that I don't think it has anything to do with his performance or selection or anything like that. He has no control over his own bloody team.
Yeah, well, they're ruthless. You know what Chelsea are like. They sack fucking anyone, like 3 games, and then they're probably the most ruthless club with managers. If you look at Man United, you look at Arsenal, they had Fergie for how long? Wenger for how long? Chelsea had about 5 different men. Frank Lampard, right? Doing a fantastic job at Coventry, right? Probably needed that experience because he didn't do fuck all at Everton, got sacked. Didn't do anything at Chelsea, got sacked. You know, and then you look at the resume and you think, hang on a minute, you've been sacked from here, it's gone to Coventry, different type of football, lower football, and they're looking like they're going to get promoted as well. You know, so I do agree with him. It's the club. Carry on, sorry.
I was about to say, he took a commentary side at the start. He started that commentary with the bottom of the league, losing 6 on the bounce on the opening day of the season. He took them to the fucking playoffs, and now they're going to the Premier League. Like,
yeah, I'll take the hat off to him.
Like, fucking that bloke, he's gonna have fucking keys to the freaking Commentary City freaking dugout for the next freaking 4 or 5 years if they stay up. Like, he's done a phenomenal job at that football club, and if I'm Liam Delap, Commentary or Ipswich, I will go because you're guaranteed first team football.
Side comment. This changes your life, boys.
I've got a comment coming in. I am listening.
This is an ad. Keeps you fresh. Fire up.
Right.
It's sponsored by Fly Spray.
See your coming in?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you got a comment. Will Chelsea make Europa? No.
Nope.
No chance.
So you think Chelsea are going to get worse and they're going to lose out to Brentford and Everton?
Yeah. They have so much internal issues right now, SJ, because of their own decisions internally within the club, to the point where, excuse me, Mark Cucurella potentially might not be playing in the next few games because of issues. Enzo Fernandez still haven't made peace with the management because he said he likes the weather in Madrid. Okay, whoop-de
Cucurella needs head and shoulders.
He needs more head and shoulders. He needs knees and toes while he's at it. You know what I mean? Like, he needs a lot more going on. Yeah, like he's
hair. It's some fucking hair.
He's just a foul merchant anyway. But yeah, let's move on because
let's move on. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Right, let's save the best to last. Right now, I'm gonna designate this to Connor Webby. Connor Webby, I do love it. You can have a go at me, mate, but we're top of the league. You're not top of the league. Leeds United. Daniel Fark got the job done on Michael Carrick. I'm going to go with UConn.
Can we talk about... Sorry, I'll just say one comment quickly. Can we talk about how Daniel Farker was the highest probability manager to lose his job at the beginning of this season? And he's transformed this Leeds team with a 3-back formation? What's going on there?
And then 6 points drift of relegation.
This is a manager that I think would rival Keith Andrews for a really good, because this team was not supposed to be continuing on in the Premier League and be out of like the relegation fight. We know I know I said I was going to be quick, but I apologize. We know the narrative of championship clubs. As soon as they come up to the Premier League, they go straight back down. This season has been very, very different. Leeds have proven it. Sunderland have proven it. Obviously,
I'd give it to Sunderland. I wouldn't give it to anyone else.
That would be my pick, honestly, instead of Keith Andrews. But yeah, that's like, this has been a phenomenal performance by Daniel Farker to to keep this team, I think they'll easily stay in the Premier League next season, and they'll have another season.
Yeah, I'd actually go. I'd give it to Keith Andrews. I've just seen my Brentford there. It would be between him and Sunderland manager.
Oh, the very.
Yeah, and Daniel Fuck. But let's talk about the Leeds game. How good were Leeds? Like,
They were incredible. Like, if you're a Manchester United, you should be fucking embarrassed to lose the Leeds at home.
yeah, Webby, where are you, mate? You fucking MIA.
You should
Let's see what you got to say about that.
Webby.
Michael Carrick this, Michael Carrick that. No, fuck Michael Carrick, mate.
Fucking, you're going to Leeds, like, you have Leeds at home who are fighting for their fucking lives, and you decide to play like that. It's fucking shit.
Do you know what? I honestly think Man United will beat Chelsea. Or Chelsea will do something. They'll draw against United. And Villa will beat Sunderland. And Villa will go ahead of Man United.
What a flip-flop, by the way, but sure.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. But what happened when Man United come?
Arrogance, maybe. Like, seeing Leeds having won there in the Premier League era, apparently, according to fucking Sky Sports. They won there when they were fucking League One team or something like that in the FA Cup. It's a derby. You don't know what you're going to get. And Man United walked in there like they fucking owned the place. And yes, you could be at home or fucking anything. But this is a Leeds team reformed.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. Like, fucking Kofa was quality. That goal, like, I know it was a deflection, but yeah, they were just clinical. And I'm going to say one player's name, though, who does play for Man United. Where the fuck does this form come from, Casemiro? He scored in every single game in the last 4 games. Like, what's going on?
I mean, he's
not scoring. Sesko's not scoring. Mbama's not scoring. They're relying on a player that's going. He's just announced he's going into Miami. Like, I don't know. Like, and that's the reasons why Michael Carrick won't get Man United over the line if they go into next season. He's not the right man for it.
No, I agree. I think Man United won't be hiring Michael Carrick next season. I think
they're going to go for Simeone.
Simeone's not going to United. Let's not convince ourselves otherwise. He's not going to the Premier League. Come on. Not happening.
No way.
Why not?
No chance.
Why would
job.
Diego Simeone
Eddie
not
Howe's
go to
job.
Huh?
It's Eddie Howe's job. We already know. Eddie Howe's going to United. That's Eddie Howe's job. That's what I think anyway. Anyway, well, I'll just say one last final comment. I think Manchester United walked in like they own the place and they lost custody of Old Trafford. It is what it is.
All right, we'll close it there on that one because that's done and dusted. Right, we'll go over a few more things and we'll wrap it up as it's been a very, very good one. We've still got a few things to talk about. Let's go over our predictions. Someone did someone did very, very well. We won't mention his name because he's not here. But we'll just go over to the overalls.
I hope I do well next week.
Yeah, I'm going to just... so I got 6. Keeper got 4. Cows, mate, got 7. Well done. Anthony got 7. Well done as well. So you're on a tie there. Connor got a whopping 10. So well done to Connor. Shame you can't be here to celebrate that, mate. But oh well. And on that note, I'm leading with 159. Keeper's on 137. Nishka's on 124. Kaus is on 103. With a nice little battle going on with Anthony with 93. Sat's on 44. Shaz on 42. RJ on 24. Con on 53. And Husey on 42. This week you've done your predictions, gentlemen. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Before we talk about the showdown, we'll just touch base on the Champions League very, very quickly. Semi-finals, PSG and Bayern and Atletico and Arsenal. Any talking points on the draw?
I saw an awesome bit of content that if I find again I'll share to you. And someone goes the PSG and Bayern side versus the Atletico and Arsenal side. It's counter-terrorism. I probably shouldn't say this, but anyway, it's counter-terrorism football versus terrorism football. It's a CS:GO match in the final, ladies and gents. It'll be CT versus T side when we get to the grand final of the Champions League. I think that'll be a fantastic tie for whoever makes it through. But I think PSG have been good, but I think Bayern will be better, and Arsenal have been good, but I think Simeone and Atletico will be better. And I think that will be your final. Will be Bayern versus Atletico, and Bayern will be Champions League victors.
Chaos. We will know what's going to happen in the Arsenal Atletico game. It's going to be fucking 0-0 and 0-0. It's Harambo versus Harambo. And somehow fucking Atleti or Arsenal will win on pens. Something like that would be the most...
It'll be an immovable object versus an immovable object.
Both buses will be fucking parked.
SJ's not laughing.
No, I think it'll be Bayern and Arsenal in the final.
Oh no. You don't want to remind yourself of Bayern Munich.
So you'd rather lose in the final than semis?
I think we'll beat Bayern Munich. I think on a one game, but I'd rather play Bayern Munich over PSG because we've beaten Bayern this season, and we beat them hands down with the team they had.
Final, though.
I have nothing to
on
add.
On a one game. It's 50-50. On a two leagues, I think Arsenal beat Bayern and Atletico. I think PSG would be the sticking point because we played them again. I think it would be nice to see another final. No semi-final. No, we lost against them in the semis. Oh. Yeah, it'd be nice to play them again, get a bit of revenge. But I personally, they're three that they've got. You know, I can't even pronounce his name. Kritschevagela, whatever his fucking name is, and Dembele. They're just out of this world. He's just like the way he dribbled through that Liverpool team and scored that goal, man. It's just incredible. And Barcola as well. Barcola, what a player! I
feel like the stars are aligning for Neuer's last Champions League possible run before he retires to win the whole thing.
I think Neuer's actually been not good at all.
Nah, Neuer hasn't been good in the last year. He's dropped off.
But I understand the sentiment. Like, I think it's very, I guess, like it's a similar sentiment to, I guess, Messi's World Cup. But I think that's different because Messi was really performing really well at that World Cup.
Messi.
Well, I think Messi was actually, but I think Messi was still performing really well at that World Cup. And I don't think Neuer is making the difference for Bayern Munich. Like, if I'm being honest. I think, the free kick against Ardgula, I think he should have saved it. He got a hand to it. He should have been stronger. Don't get me wrong. It was a phenomenal free kick, right? Yeah, it's great. But
his first goal. It's his first goal.
Oh, yeah. But that's that's what I was about to say. That's from a Neuer mistake, though. He just gave him the ball. That's two goals that should not have happened. That a very experienced keeper of Neuer's quality, where he was, at a point in time in his career, the best goalkeeper in the world, especially with his style of play, that it has now become the norm for a goalkeeper in this day and age. He's not making the difference. So I do have question marks over him in goals. But I think Bayern's attack is just phenomenal.
Yeah, Henri said that. Carragher said that on CBS. He said, comparing the two teams, because he said that Arsenal will be in the final, and he did say Arsenal are going to win the Champions League. A lot of people have said that Arsenal are going to win it, and Bayern are going to win it. And Sporting went easy. Sporting weren't no pushovers. They were difficult, And probably people say, "Oh yeah, we beat them 5-0 or whatever, or But Bayern's attack, compared to our attack, there's no comparison. They've got such. Harry Kane's clinical, don't get me wrong. At least he's on fantastic form at the moment. They've now got Luis Diaz back in after injury as well. They've got Gnabry. They've got obviously Jamal Musiala as well, who's fantastic. Needs to come to the Prem, without a doubt. He's just, if City get him, we're in trouble because he's just class. And but they can be got at. We got at them. We beat them in a one-off game in the group 3-1, and they had all those players there, apart from Jamal Masuda. So, yeah, for you to say Atletico and Bayern, it's we beat Atletico pretty easy as well. But did they have those players? Yes. I don't know. West, whatever the fuck, I can't think what the bloody stadium's called. That is a hard place to go to, Atletico. That is a fortress, that place. I don't think it'll be easy. What about you, Com? You haven't really said. You said penalties, but like, who's going to the final?
I reckon it's going to be Bayern and Atletico.
Really? Should you go with Chaos? Okay.
Yeah. But I could see the script.
I'll be laughing when I prove you both fucking wrong.
I could see the script. Arsenal losing to a Harry Kane goal on the same similar day that Tottenham go down.
Again, if that happens.
I'm actually talking to me after the Imola crash.
We move on after
Why
that.
would you bring that up, bro?
We move on after that. I had to cut my audio quite short, by the way.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're talking to me after that. But if
we
that
move
happens,
on. We move on. The race is done.
SJ is going to talk to me.
Come, I love you really, mate. But end of the day, the race is done. We move on. Anyway, let's move on and let's talk about the biggest game of the season. And I want to hear what Com's got to say. And then we'll close out with the table and we'll lock it in, guys. Big games this weekend. Some big games. Obviously, Leeds are playing Wolves. Got a massive opportunity to even increase that gap. Brentford, obviously, in a very, very good position at the moment. Tottenham obviously need a win at home, but they are playing a team that informed Brighton. Chelsea, Man United, obviously looking likely it's good. Chelsea need points. Man United need points to obviously try and clinch that third spot. Nottingham Forest, obviously playing a team that basically is relegated already, Burnley. Aston Villa obviously are playing a team in form as well, Sunderland, and obviously Everton are in great form, playing a Liverpool side that is all over the place. Crystal Palace after their win, but they're playing a West Ham team that's in form, and obviously the two big shots go at it, P1 and P2. So, any take on any of those games, guys? We got to carry on. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt again.
I reckon it's going to be interesting. As Kaus is, I'm just watching Kaus fucking change his name, but I feel like City have done this before. Like they've been chasing you guys down. It's at the Etihad. I just don't see a world where Arsenal can get anything from this game, unfortunately. And that's me being truly honest. Like, I don't reckon City will pump you like 3-4, 5-6-0 or whatever.
Cass fucking seems to think in the predictions.
But
yours is realistic, but obviously I hope it's not that score. What have you said?
Was it 3?
No, you said 4-0. No, yours is not realistic. You've gone for 4-0 as well. Like, really? 4-0? No.
Do I trust Arsenal in the biggest games? Do I trust this team?
This is the Premier League. Anything can happen in the Premier League. We beat them 5-1 last season.
Yeah.
Who thought that?
But they can torch you 5-0 easily.
Yep, they can.
So, like, you have to expect, but I expect City to just have the quality. And they've done this before, they can do it again. They've pipped you so many fucking times. They're like the Grim Reaper. They're ready to kill you.
All right, well, are you going to be available for the watch along?
People away that day.
If I'm not fucking passed out, blacked out from a party I'm going to.
Oh, here we go.
I know Cass is because we locked this date in.
Oh.
All right. So you think that Etihad will do it? You think they'll beat Arsenal, and then it will then come down to 64. It'll come down to 3 points. 64, 65, 66, 67.
Yeah, 3 points with Man City with a game in hand.
So you think Man City are going to win, and they'll be 3 points behind with a game in hand, which then drops it down to 0-0.
I think Burnley
Well, yeah.
that game in hand.
I don't know if it is their game in hand, Burnley.
I think it is.
No,
the game in
is
hand
it?
is against us.
Was
And
against
what
you
I was going to
guys.
say is City's going to play us as a extra game.
Mhm.
And the last game of the Arsenal season
It's
is against you know who.
It's Palace. Yeah.
Imagine the scenes if Arsenal managed to bottle the title at Palace.
Woo! Wow! That's so smart, baby. They talk
No,
about
I don't
the Old
think so,
Trafford.
but-
They talk about fucking wherever else. You talk about Bernabeu. Talk about Kent now.
Oh, here we go.
Selhurst Park, baby. Come on.
So, Man
I'm
City,
alive.
Man City, are you watching? Are you there for the watch along?
Most likely.
Well, you
50-50.
aren't. You're at a fucking party, and yet it looks like you've got no fucking. Have you had a fucking blackout?
Power's out. I don't have mobile data.
I'm in bed.
In bed.
Bad.
That's where I should be as well.
Oh,
Kels, are you there for the watch along?
I'll be there.
We've got to be there. We can't.
I'll
We've
be
got to be there. We've got to be there. It's late. You know that, don't you?
I don't think we should do a watch along because I kind of want to watch with my other Arsenal mate as well and just listen to the crowd.
Bring him in.
That would
Bring
be
him in.
beautiful.
Bring him in.
We wouldn't do anything like this. He's pretty
He doesn't
reserved.
even need to put his face on. You don't want to do the watch along. How can you not do the watch along? Anyway.
I don't think you want to do the watch along, HJ. That's
Oh,
all I'll say.
fucking yeah, I do, mate. I do. I do. I want you to see the sweat.
The capitulation, brother.
Yeah. Just on the whole game.
Bro, I
Um,
can just imagine just your heart in your mouth as soon as like Erling Haaland gets a touch in the box. You know what I mean? Just
Oh,
like
God.
Yeah.
Don't even mind.
he's already fearful of it.
I am feeling it already. But,
Do
Get
you
the
reckon Man City
bottle
will do a
ready.
Tifo or they're
Get
too
the
small a
bottle.
club to do it?
shut up. Honestly, your prediction is, at the gate. But how do you
wrong.
feel that game's going to go? Honestly,
In all seriousness, I do think it's going to be a tough game for both teams. I think
Yeah.
the difference, though, and I think it will. I think it's important context, and that's Man City have done it recently, right? They've been successful in the last game. I think that might come into the minds of both sides a little bit. Again, I also think the mentality, I'll say it again, of actually being the team that is the underdog in a way. Not the underdog, but I guess, the team with less pressure, you know what I mean? Because they're the ones that need to, that they're already behind, right? They're already behind the 8 ball. They need to make that difference, whereas Arsenal are already ahead. I think this is a massive game, and I think it will be a feisty one. I think you'll see a lot of fouls, a lot of heart going into it. I think this is a game where I would see, for Arsenal anyway, I'd see like someone like Martin Odegaard, if he's fit and available, to be able to make the difference. I think this is a game that he would thrive in, and I think you need him in a game like this. I think if he's not on the field, I struggle to see where that leadership's coming from. I think Declan Rice can do it, but I think you mentioned it as well. He's exhausted, man. He's done it for so long, and I think, not to ramble on too much, but I guess, not bringing someone in the fold like Norgard a little bit earlier and getting him some match fitness and playing in some other games before this game could have been very, very beneficial. But you are where you are at the moment. It's going to be a tough game, but I do think Man City will come away with the win.
I see on my level. I listened to the media. I've listened to the fans. I've listened to a few people talk about it, and it's. Looking at stats and stuff like that, but I think I just don't know. I really don't know. I think this is probably one of the biggest games of football I've ever probably seen. So close to the end of the season, and these two galactic teams are playing each other, and whoever comes out on that is going to have the upper hand. Arsenal, they come out that game, they win, they go 9 points clear again. They're in the driving seat.
I think they win the title if they win this game, 100%. No two ways about it.
I've said to you all the way along, and I'll still say it, there's twists in this Premier League. There is twists right to the end of the season. And I don't like, personally, City's last few games. Villa and Brentford and Bournemouth, they're not easy teams. Brentford have been very good this season. I think Bournemouth have caused a lot of problems with a lot of clubs. Liverpool, Man United, obviously us. Villa have beaten City. Villa could be in a situation where they could need to qualify for Europa. So, and we've seen City have played 3 relegation sides in relegation battle, and they've dropped points in every single game. So, I still think there's twists. I think this will be a game where both teams will be very cautious. I don't think they'll go flat out. I think they'll try and suss each other out. I think there'll be counters. I think there'll be attacks. I think you're going to see that. The lineup is going to be the key, I think, for both teams. David Raya obviously isn't going to be in goal. So David Raya against Donnarumma, 2 great goalkeepers. Who plays left back? Who plays right back for Arsenal? The centre back is probably going to be Mark Guy and Ruben Diaz. Do we have Timber fit? Maybe. Midfield. Who's going to be playing in midfield? That's the biggest one as well. Is Odegaard going to make the game? Is Eze going to play? If Odegaard's not fit, then Eze has to play. You need the creativity. You need something in that attack. Does Saka play? Is he going to make it in time? And, for me, I'd play Martinelli and Saka. Because I think Martinelli can cause Man City problems because he's got that pace. And he caused them problems when he played last time. Can Gabriel and Saliba deal with Haaland? Yeah, I think they can. But we need to be on point with Semio as well and the whole way Man City play. And I think it's one of those games where if you're not cautious, Arsenal need to be on the front foot straight away. That they're going at their ground. They need to press them. They need to start like they have started against, how they played against Tottenham, for instance, just all over them. They just need to start like that. I don't think this is a game they cannot play without. If they've just got to go for it because they know if they don't get the result. Would me as an Arsenal fan be happy with a draw? 100%. Getting a draw at the Etihad, but really to shut all the critics, shut everyone up, we need to go there and get the result. We need to get the 3 points because we've dropped too many points. Wolves, Bournemouth, and Liverpool early on in the season. We need to capitalise on that. Can I see it? Time will tell. And I think personally, I just think we need to relax. Like we're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. We're top of the league. Yes, we're out of the Carabao. Yes, we lost the Carabao. Yes, we're at the FA Cup. We're still leading the Premier League. Now, if I was to say in April, we're leading the Premier League by 6 points, and we're in the semi-final of the Champions League, I'd take your hand off. So I think we just need to just put that beside us, the Champions League, and just concentrate on this number one and play this like a cup final. I think that's the only way because you're both right of how this has gone. City have been the hunters, and they've done it so well, and they 9 times out of 10 they've done it. They've done it against Liverpool. They've done it against us twice, and we can win this league. We've just got to be clinical, and we've just got to it's difficult for me to say because they are a force, Man City. They're a fantastic football club, but they can be got at. Their defense is not strong. Their midfield and their attack is. And you look at our defense, we have the best defense in the Premier League. With Raya and our back four, we don't have up front. And I think if Declan Rice is onto it and Gyökeres is onto it, because he's had it tough, and these defenders aren't going to make it easy for Gyökeres as well. So it's going to have to be something magical, set piece maybe or something. And we need to keep Haaland quiet because he can play 70 minutes and score. He can score any time. So I would prefer us to be on the front foot from the get-go. Don't let them play around with the ball because that's what they'll want. But I think both teams will be very cautious. I think the game will be cautious. I think it will be 0-0 at half-time, and then it'll all go out for it in the second half. I don't think they'll open it up. I don't think both teams can afford to because they know that both teams are very, very quick on the counter, and I don't think they'll want to do that. what you think. I think it'll be. It'll be interesting. I don't really know how to say it. It's one of these games where I've watched some football games in my life, but this is the big one. You know, you're playing the team that's hunting you, and you've got a massive chance to capitalise. Go into Newcastle. No offence, it's at home. You know, it's favourable for us because we're at home, and we've been very good at home this season. So we get that result, and then City lose that or whatever. It then puts it back onto them. Because at the end of the day, you look at it, who's the pressure really on? City. Well, it is.
I would say Arsenal.
It is because they're chasing
Never been
us.
on City.
Yeah, but if you look at the game, sort of, who's at the top and who's second? So it's on City. They need to capitalise on that game. Yeah, we need to get a result, but I reckon Arteta would be happy going up there with a draw. 7 points clear.
Going to City, yes, because you're taking 2 points away from City and their challenge.
I think any fan would be happy with a draw.
Yeah.
So I think City will be the ones that will want to get the result because they'll want to capitalise on that lead because they know they've got that game in hand. They win that game, that pushes it to 3. They're level. Then we're level on points, going with 4 games left of the season, and then it's all on. Then it's who drops points, and then it's back to the pressure, as I said to you before, the pressure cooker. Who plays first? Who plays second? You know, and that's going to change because we've got some funny results. City, they've got Burnley. You know, that's 3 points in the bag. But then again, Burnley could put fucking 11 players behind the ball and they could draw. And, you know, we've seen that. We've seen that City done that. They've done it against West Ham. They've done it against Nottingham Forest. So I just think they're a team that can be...
I reckon SJ, Cows's Crystal Palace has the funniest way they could do it to knock off City and then knock off Arsenal.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say. That was the point I was going to say before was like, are Palace going to win the Premier League?
Well, I'm going to say one more thing before we do wrap it up, right?
Mm-hmm,
City's games are Arsenal, Burnley, Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace and Villa, right? They go away to Everton. They go at home to Brentford, away to Bournemouth, home at Palace, home at Villa. Arsenal have got... They've got City, Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Crystal Palace. Home at Newcastle, home at Fulham, away at West Ham, home at Burnley, away at Crystal Palace. Who's the favourable fixtures?
I would say this. I'd say Arsenal.
I'd say Arsenal. I think Villa, Bournemouth, Brentford. I think our only bogey side, really, no offence to you guys, is Newcastle. I don't know, not Palace.
What about Palace away?
I remember someone saying in this Discord, in this call, a few weeks and months ago, Bournemouth won't do anything. Who have they got?
I honestly think our hardest game is Newcastle.
No, I agree. I think I'm not going to disagree with that, but like because you guys are away at Newcastle, no?
Home.
No, I disagree with that. No chance. Your hardest game is us. Newcastle away are a different side. Anthony can attest to that. They are not the same. They're not. When they are away from home, when they're at home, when that's St. James's Park, different team.
Yeah, we're not playing. They're playing us at home.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That won't be a hard. I think you guys will get 3 points there. I generally think your hardest game is against us.
No, actually, I don't. If it's not,
Mateta was dogging like people Newcastle, in the Europa League.
It's Fulham.
What about West Ham?
Evan Nielsen. That's what I was about to say. And also West Ham that are fighting for survival and have been probably rejuvenated by the fall of Tottenham. Also, their close rival of theirs. I don't know. I disagree. I do think.
Yeah, West Ham could be a tough one, especially if it comes down to it.
I think Arsenal has. Yeah, I think Arsenal have the hardest fixtures with context because I also think City against Aston Villa that have actually tailed off as well. They're not the same team as they once were. They're not at the same competitiveness. Sure, they have a phenomenal team with great players. They're nowhere near as where they were, say, January or December time because they were hard to play against then. And
the last 2 games are at home as well for City.
yeah, it's going to be to the wire. It's going to be tight. I do agree there's going to be twists and turns. Might even come down to goal difference, but we're just going to have to see what happens, SJ. Just going to have to see what happens. Let the football play itself. I mean, if you want to get flights and tickets to Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, I'm down.
I do get paid by then, but yeah, I don't think my
ask
wife
you
would
this
like
question.
it. Go on.
If you've wrapped up the league by that
Here we
West
go.
Ham game,
Yeah.
how funny would it be if West Ham win at Arsenal to relegate Tottenham?
Oh, enough.
To be honest with you, I'm an Arsenal fan. I fucking hate Tottenham. I don't want to see them get relegated. I personally, I don't. I think the club, the stadium, it is dramatic if they get relegated. Honestly, it'll be the biggest club that's ever been relegated in history. That they've got that new stadium. You look at just before we go, you look at that 11. That ain't a championship fucking team. They've got some quality players. They're just not playing together well, and unfortunately they're running out of time. And everyone above them is performing. Leeds, West Ham, Forest. You know, they played Forest 2 weeks ago. They got mullered. You know, so they're not getting the results done. They did play well against Sunderland. They did play a little bit better. I think they will go down. I don't think they're going to do it. I'm just going to go on Tottenham's fixtures at the moment. I'm just going to find Tottenham quickly. I think they're in serious trouble. I really do, because I think I said this to you before, Kaz. I don't think the fixtures are nice to them. I really don't. They've got Brighton, who are on form. Wolves, they'll beat Wolves. I think they'll beat Wolves. Villa, they'll lose. Then they've got Leeds. Then they've got Chelsea and Everton. I can't see it. I really can't see it. I can see them winning one game out of that.
And if that was true, SJ, that would be their only win of 2026 in the Premier League.
I can't see them. They may get a result against Brighton. Maybe.
They have to.
Two.
They have
That's
to.
two.
It has to.
It's their only chance.
I can't see them beating Villa in their form.
Yeah.
I can see them may get a result against Leeds because they fucking have to, but Leeds won't give a shit because Leeds are 6 points clear. So Leeds can afford to drop 3 points. Then Chelsea, that's at Stamford Bridge. I don't think Chelsea. It's always a good game between Chelsea and Tottenham, though. Always.
Oh, Chelsea will want to relegate them.
Chelsea
100%.
will win that, and I think Tottenham will draw against Everton. I don't think they'll beat them. So I think on those results and how they are at the moment, they need to watch out for one team currently, and that's West Ham.
Yeah,
Tottenham to go down, Millwall to possibly go up. What a fucking alternate reality we are living
honestly, it'll be now for Tottenham fans. They need to watch West Ham's games all the time because, you know, if you're looking at, we just look at West Ham as well quickly, and then we'll do the table and we'll wrap it up. West Ham,
Arsenal win the league and Tottenham get relegated in the same season.
It'd be fucking phenomenal.
Suicide watch for Tottenham
West Ham
for the next fucking years.
Yeah.
West Ham, right? Crystal Palace away. It's a tough game. They then have Everton at home. Tough game. Brentford, tough game. Arsenal, tough game. Newcastle away. Then Leeds. I don't see West Ham winning many of them games either.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a point. I really do. I think if West Ham beat Palace and Tottenham lose, I'm going to call it now. I'm going to call it. Hang on. Let me work it out. Hang on. Let me find if I could Premier League. I've lost it again. Hang on. 2 seconds. Let me find it. Here we go. Right. No, that's Tottenham again. Hang on. Sorry. Let me just find it. That's Arsenal. That's Arsenal. It's Man City, Man City, Man City. Oh, here we go. Right. I'm going to call it now. Let me see what you think. Right. If West Ham beat Palace and Tottenham lose against Brighton, that's done. Tottenham are down. I think that's it. Because then that will be 32, 33, 34, 35. That'll be 5 points ahead of Tottenham. Yep, that's what I'm saying. So if West Ham beat you on the weekend, it's done. You agree, Com? Oh, we've got 4 pictures now. Do you agree, Com?
I do agree. I do.
West Ham beat Crystal Palace, and Tottenham is against Brighton. It's done. Tottenham are down. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll leave it there. All right. First of all, before we go, Arsenal leading the way did obviously lose that game against Bournemouth, so have put pressure on themselves, playing the big two in this weekend, which is probably the biggest game in football history. We'll still have to wait and see. Man United, though, dropping points against Leeds, have now pushed themselves 55 points, joint with Villa, who didn't get a result against Nottingham Forest, actually dropped points there as well. So both teams dropping points and still on the amount of points, but the better team in form at the moment is Man United. 2 wins compared to Villa's 1 win. Liverpool, though, did bounce back and did get that result against Fulham, putting themselves up into P5, 52 points. Chelsea, though, are falling away from the top 5 now. I think 4 points or 5 points adrift in 6th, not won any game in the last 3 games, so needing to get a result against Man United this weekend. Brentford, though, draw another game, but push themselves up to 47 points, only a point adrift of Chelsea at the moment. Same amount of points as Everton, who Everton got that draw against Brentford as well. Both teams played each other, and what was a fantastic result, but both teams are on 47 each. Then you've got Brighton behind, who have got 3 on the bounce, in really good form, playing a team this weekend who are at the relegation. So will they be able to do the same? We'll have to wait and see. Then we've got Sunderland, got a good result there. They're on the same amount of points as Brighton. The only difference is the goal difference there. Then you've got Bournemouth getting a good result against Arsenal at the home ground, putting them on 45 points, 1 point adrift of Sunderland. And then you've got Fulham, unfortunately, dropping points to Liverpool on 44, 1 point behind Bournemouth. Then Crystal Palace, 42, 2 points behind Fulham, getting that result against Newcastle. Newcastle on the same amount of points. Only 1 goal difference between the two of them. -1 for Palace, -2 for Newcastle. Newcastle losing 2 games on the trot. Leeds United, what a result for them, beating Man United. That's pushed them 6 points adrift of relegation. Could it even be more if Tottenham lose this weekend? Nottingham Forest getting a good draw pushes them 3 points adrift of relegation on a lot better goal difference, or only 1 goal difference between them and Spurs at the moment, -12 to -11. Then West Ham on a good form now. That is, they've lost 1, drawn, lost 1, and on 32 points. Tottenham going down into the relegation after losing against Sunderland, have lost, drawn, lost on the same amount of form as Burnley, who look like they are relegated with 10 points drift of Spurs. Will them teams be able to try and get any more results? We'll have to wait and see. There's crazier things that happen in the Premier League. Then we've got Wolves, which basically look like they are down. Fortunately, another loss on 17 points. And then obviously with goals, Erling Haaland 22, Ego Thiago only 1 goal between him and Haaland. Will Ego Thiago be able to fight for the Golden Boot? We'll still have to wait and see. Anton Semio on 15, Joao Pedro on 14, Danny Welbeck up to 12, and Grokeres now on the same amount of goals as Danny Welbeck with 12. Then we go over to assists. Bruno Fernandes 17. assists this season. 7 adrift of Ryan Cherky on 10. Jared Bowen on 8. Alan Holland on 7. Harry Wilson on 6. Jack Grealish still injured, keeping that 6th spot. And Mohamed Salah keeping that 6th spot as well. Jurison Mosquera has got 11 yellow cards this season. Yo Linton misses the Arsenal game due to suspension. So big news there for Newcastle. He's on 10, joint with Lewis Dunk. And then obviously Christian Romero, 2 red cards all season. Gentlemen, anything we have to say before we go?
Jean-Philippe Mateta. See you later, Shaq.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Come, anything from you?
We better fucking win. That's all I want to say.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know it's been a long stream, but it was worth it. We'll keep it going. And yeah, let's have a great weekend. I have no idea what's going to happen this weekend. We're going to have to wait and see what the podcast will be very interesting next Friday, I'm sure. We've got a lot to go through. Champions League draw is out. PSG playing Bayern in the semi-finals. Atletico playing Arsenal in the semi-finals. We've also got the Europa League as well. So, yeah, a lot of football going on. This weekend is going to be the biggest one. Everyone is probably going to be tuning in to the biggest game of the season, which is Man City playing Arsenal. P1 versus P2. Who do you think is going to win? That'll be the question. Tune in for next time on Off the Post. Thank you very much for joining. Kaus and Com. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the games. And we will see you very soon. Good night.
Peace.